Hi, I'm Donna Dewberry, the original creator of the FolkArt one-stroke painting technique. Welcome to the Let's Paint Studio right here at Plaid. Learning to paint has never been as easy as when I teach you how to load a brush with multiple colors where you can blend, shade, and highlight with one stroke of the brush. Our new program with Let's Paint FolkArt One Stroke this year is going to be all about learning how to paint 50 different types of flowers. And as you can imagine, 50 flowers makes the possibility endless to be able to paint floral designs. I'm thrilled that you've chosen to join me on this one-stroke journey. So let's paint. Today we're painting a hibiscus, and we're going to be using our reusable teaching guide, and we're going to use the FolkArt multi-surface paint. Let me share those colors with you. We have wicker white, moon yellow, apple red, citrus green, and sap green. And we're using the one-stroke brushes, which are the 3/4 inch flat, number 12 flat, and a 2 script liner. So the best part about the teaching guide is that it's reusable, and we're going to have the strokes that are actual my size strokes right here on this side of the teaching guide. So what we're going to do is practice right over those strokes and show you that we have wet the brush, laid it on a paper towel to dry it off, and we're going to pick up by double loading right here in between the two colors, and we're going to work this in, and we work it in back and forth until it's really inside the bristles. So you have to have a little bit of pressure and be quick at first, and that just goes right inside the bristles. And if you don't have it inside the bristles split while you're trying to paint, and it doesn't make a really nice stroke. So I'm adding a little bit of yellow, little bit of wicker white to your yellow, so your moon yellow, and then we're going to come over here and practice. So we're going to come right here to see if it's the color we want. I'm going to add a little bit more moon yellow. There we go. And then let's show you this petal, because it's the same petal for all 5. All right, so you're going to slide up and see how I'm putting. We usually have our handle straight up and down, and the bristles do the work for you. But what I'm going to do is lean it slightly so you can see my work. Okay, and we stand up. All right, see how I slid as I stood up? Let's do that again. We're going to slide up. We're going to make a few little waves, and then we slowly stand up. So see, I'm leaning the moon yellow out. So let's come over here. And that was the first petal. So as we lean out here, and then we come in. Okay, right here. Lay the bristles. See, we're about halfway. We have about half the pressure you want on this brush. We're not up on the chisel. We are not all the way pushed down, but we're about halfway. But it's real important how you turn as you come back. Do you see that? So let's, oops, picked up the wrong color on the wrong side. Just wipe it off and work it back in. And what we're going to do is come right here. Okay, now watch this last. We're going to stand up and roll it in just slightly. All right? I'll do that part one more time by picking up more yellow. The moon yellow is a nice bright yellow. Okay, now let's go over here to the bud. And on the bud, we're using the same brush, but we are going to just stay up on the chisel. So this is the chisel. So you can see the arrow is going to show you that we do 1, 2. It's like a twisted bud, and it untwists when it's blooming. All right. I'm going to get my wet wipes and wash this off. Okay. So these have a coating on it so that you can go over and over practicing and have like your teacher strokes right at home with you. Okay. So we want to make sure we get that off really good because they will dry. We've got a sealer in our paint that makes it really nice. So this is the flower we're going to put on our project here. And so I want you to see how these roll a little bit like I was telling you. And then we put a bud in here before we go learn the stamen and all right? So I'm going to come back in here, pick up a really good amount of the moon yellow because the apple red takes over the whole, all the colors. So, all right. So let's do our first petal. So we're going to slide up. That part's important. Be watching this so you remember what you did. Okay, now sliding down is where we roll slightly the yellow. All right, that makes it look more natural. Okay, so let's come right in here, and it's okay not to have every petal touch in between, and then I roll up. Okay, see how nice those are looking? All right, so we're going to slide up. I'm trying to make them kind of the same size. Okay, so let's put that bud that's not opened yet. And it's going to come right in here. One, a little bit bigger, a bit bigger. There. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to use the citrus and the sap now, and let's go practice some of those strokes. So I'm going to work this in, citrus green and sap green. All right. So what's going to happen? Oh, not on here. All right, look what we're going to do. We're going to slide this up and stay up on the chisel when we're doing this, okay? So we're going to touch and roll, slide. Do not push down hard. We're just going to be on the chisel. Then when we do the stamen in the middle, we start out with these little strokes like this. So we start there and then we come out to where we want it to be. And then what has to happen on here is we do this right here. We do these little teeny strokes. Now you can use a script liner. I did that side with the chisel. And I'm going to show you on this side, you can do the script liner. And if you don't think you can get it thin, let's use the script liner, all right? And it kind of, to me, it looks like a Christmas tree where it gets to a point and see that shape? All right. So before I put my green on here, I'm going to take sap green and some apple red and make a little bit of a darker maroon. Okay. So I'm going to clean that all off my brush. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come right in here and pick it up. And see how this swoops down in here? I'm going to come right into this area and I'm going to make the throat of the flower there. And then we're going to take Get that darkness in there. Okay, see how that gives you depth in there? And it's just this and that, all right? Having the guide right here is going to help you see all that and remember what you practiced. So we're going to pick up the sap and the citrus with a 12 again. All right, and so right along here, I am going to take a stem and pull it into the flower, push and slide around. Another one here. Okay, now what makes this flower really pretty is the stamen. So I'm going to get the dark, I start off with the dark green here, the sap green, and then I decide where I want this stamen to come to. Okay, now what I will do after I get that dark is I'll come in here with a little bit of citrus green and add little highlights. See how that made that pop? We do the same thing on there. All right, so we decided we liked our script liner better, right? So we're going to do sap green and citrus green. We're going to roll that in here because we want it nice and thin. All right, so steady your finger and start doing these little teeny stems. They're just going to show in the background, but we still want them. Okay, now we're going to take our brush here. Is going to tell you exactly what you're doing, and you're going to take yellow and white, so moon yellow, wicker white, and this is what I like to do. I like to tap my finger and then randomly tap these in here. So you're not trying to put a dot on the end of each one of these stems. You're just trying to get that look. See my little Christmas tree? Let me get a little bit more white right there. There we go. All right. I had so much fun today sharing how easy it is to paint these flowers. They turned out gorgeous. Remember, practicing on the reusable teaching guides right over my strokes gives you so much painting confidence. Thank you for joining me here in the studio. And remember, we just learned one more of the flowers from the A to Z one-stroke floral painting sets. And I would love for you to take pictures and share them on our Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group by hashtagging Let's Paint Challenge. Come on, everybody, let's paint.